Hello my friends, Darren here again from RC Scale Models, and today I have another kit review for you. This one is from Amusing Hobbies. It's the FV4005 self-propelled gun. So let's take a look at this kit. To my understanding, it's a heavy tank for tank destroying. I've tried to find information on it. I found a little bit of information. If you want more detailed information, go to the link in the description. Go to Sophie Line's YouTube channel. She does information and walk around, and she has links and information to the Bovington Tank Museum in England. To my understanding, the only one left is a Gate Guardian that is at the Tank Museum. Check these two pictures out. As I say, it's from Amusing Hobbies, FV4005, 135 scale, kit number 35A029. On the bottom side, you get two colour callouts. You have a Canadian Mark N one, and you get the one in British, which is basically like a whitewash colour. So it's going to be the British green underneath, and then a whitewash on the outside. I might actually do this whitewash version. I haven't actually built a tank yet in a snow scheme. There's this side and the kit number, some CAD work, stuff in Japan language. You do get, they're asking for like link tracks, which I just clipped together, but we'll check these out and see how well how good they are. I've never built a Amusing Hobby kit before. I never bought one neither, so this is my first one from them. Let's take a look what we get inside. Ignore that, that's the bill on your seat. So we get tracks, lower hull section. It's quite a large hull. If I'm not mistaken, this is taken from the Centurion hull, if I'm not mistaken. I do apologise if I get it totally wrong. We have this one, it's got wheels and stuff in it. There's the upper hull, big turret and stuff, side skirts, drive sprockets. So we'll take a closer look at this. Okay, here is your worksheet with instructions and stuff. So we'll take a closer look at this. If you wondered why my fingers are taped up, I accidentally cut myself with the standing blade or X-Acto knife. I cut myself on my tips of my fingers, so they are taped up. So we have a little bit of information and warning stuff. We have the symbols that the company uses for not to glue, open, and so forth. We got a nice picture on the front of the box art. On your first page is all your sprue information. Second page is we start on the undercarriage. This spring is made of metal, so we do have a live and working suspension, which is a nice touch on this kit. So we have the two sides and the two arms, and it's telling you not to glue the metal suspension in. You have to make up 3 sections of those, because there's 3 aside, and then attaching your wheels, which are 2 halves, just come together. Very simple. Down the bottom is attaching the bogie system and the wheel assembly that you previously built, adding 2 more support gussets. And then next step on number 3 is the transmission casing and drive sprocket assembly. You have the front of the tank, which is a lower Glacier. Turning the tank over, and you have these 2 support pieces at the back of the vehicle. I'm not 100% sure what they are. Go to the front of the vehicle again. You're putting on your idler wheel. No, it'd be the return roller, sorry, if I'm not mistaken, return roller. And then we are working on the tracks. Supposedly they're just clipped together. I don't know how well they're going to be and how well strong they're going to be. We're going to check that out in a minute. It requires 102 links, and it's telling you which way to have them round facing forward. Also, you've got your return rollers there as well. Next step is building up the front Glacier. I think that's the, I'm sure that's the front. We have the radiator system, exhaust system going in, and more support brackets, and I think this is like a toolbox. And then also, because of the vehicle is a heavy self-propelled gun, it's going to have such a large recoil. You have to build up this assembly for, it's like a shovel, and it digs into the ground, and so it stops the tank from moving out of place. This, if I'm not mistaken, it's one of the biggest guns that the British used. It's all to do with the Cold War era. We have these side supports going on the front. I think they are the vision ports, the cupolas and stuff. We have the engine deck as well, and the actual main deck for the turret to sit onto. It does rotate, but according to the army, they didn't recommend the turret to be rotated and fired because it was very unstable. We have front Glacier going on again, another one with the fenders attached as well. We have these side supports at the back of the vehicle where the engine deck is. We have upper fenders with stowage attached to it. I believe these are moulded as all in one piece. We have the side fenders going on. This piece looks like another toolbox. More stowage going in, more stowage as well. This piece here looks like the exhaust system and muffler. Number 15 is tools. I'll leave them towards the end. We have this piece here is another kind of fender. On the other side we've got another exhaust system going in. Same again, the other fender going in. We have some more support brackets going in. These are photo-etched parts. We have the tow hook system. Side skirts going in as well. More fenders section. Turning the tank upside down because you've got support brackets going in as well on the fenders. I'm not sure if those pieces are photo-etched. They might be. And we are working on the upper turret. It's basically like a giant box. The upper turret comes in one piece. All you've got to do is attach the back piece and side support and the side structural parts. Hatches going in. It's nice. We have a slide molded barrel. Your tow cable going in as well. The bottom of the turret and the turret ring. Attaching your turret to the vehicle, attaching your tow cables. And we have the barrel locking mechanism for transport. And then you should have your completed model by then. But if you do wish to have the locking mechanism for the barrel in place, this is this step here, number 24, to have the locking barrel transport piece in place. I'm not 100% sure what you call that neither. I don't really know a lot of information on this tank, so more information in the comments would be appreciated. As I say, you only get one colour call out, which is a British one. The Canadian one, it doesn't give you any markings, it's just on the box anyway, so you have to basically wing it and paint the scheme your own way. But the colour callouts are asking for Ming colours. So we have tyre black, which should be for the tyres. Dark track, which is for us, imagine, for your track colours. Light wood for the wooden parts, which would be for the the handles for the tools. Gunmetal, if I'm not mistaken, is for the machine gun. Olive drab is the actual main tank colour, British olive drab. Whitewash, which is the white camouflage, and then we have this green colour, I can't pronounce that. And then we have other colours down the bottom. For track wash and stuff, and grey wash and forest, farm, dirt, earth. I think these are like pigments and stuff and washes. So let's take a look at the sprues. So we have these bags here. We have your tiny bit of photo etch for support brackets. You have your decal markings. It's just going to be Canadian leaf and the British flag for the army. Very simple. A bag of live tracks or link tracks. We'll take a look at those in a second. We have your quite thick black rope for the tow cable. And we have your metal springs for the working suspension, which would be pretty cool, I think. Let's take a quick look at these tracks, how well they go together. Supposedly they just clip together. I don't know how well they go together. Okay, they just simply snap together, pretty simple. There you go. Once you hear that click, and they are quite flexible. They seem okay. I'll probably build them up, put them around the tracks, and then run a small bead of glue just to lock them in place so they don't come apart. But other than that, I think they're pretty cool. So here's the lower hole section. Nicely detailed. It is a bathtub style hole top shape. You will have to clean up a little bit there because that's where they attach to the sprue. And they've cut it a little bit close to my liking. Wish they left a little bit more on that. Other than that, it seems okay. We check this bag out. Always check your bags to make sure no bits are falling inside. So we have what looks like 4 of these sprues. So we have the wheels on the inside, nicely moulded with the bolts. Here's the suspension sections for the working suspension arms. suspension arms. Again, these pieces are, I think these are the part of the fender system. These are the support brackets, support tow hooks. We have turn rollers, your toe clamp or clasp piece. I think that's what they call that. So we have this giant sprue here, contains the upper turret section. Unfortunately there's no texture on the plastic of like the metal texture, so you may have to do a metal texture type on it. But it is nicely moulded and it's very sturdy plastic. Here's the back door with the door closed because there's no interior section, so you wouldn't want the door open anyway. Here's the detail on the lower section of the turret and where the turret ring is. Here's part of the shovel system that digs into the ground. So imagine these are the support parts for the shovel. We have the fenders on the front. Again, they are nicely moulded, but there's just no texture on there at all compared to some kits I've seen. I have seen how to do like a texture metal, cast metal texture for metal, is using Tamiya's extra thin cement and putting it on all over the plastic and using the paintbrush, and you stipple it and it starts to melt the plastic and it causes a texture, and that's how you can make plastic look like metal. So I'll probably end up doing that on this all over to give it that texture. I have seen that done. Or another technique is you can use Mr. Surfacer and use the I think the paintbrush as well, and you stipple it on as well, and it creates metal texture. So we have this sprue here, contains the gun part and gun mantlet. So again, like I mentioned, two pieces slide molded barrel. So this is the back of the gun, this is the front piece, and here's the centre piece, which is a gas block, I think they call it, to let the gases out. We have just like hatches or lids for boxes and stuff, and we have all the fine detail parts at the bottom. This is part of the gun system that goes inside. Here are some of the front fenders. I think the front out the sides and around the edges like a metal, and this top piece is like a fabric, like rubber, I think, if I'm not mistaken. Like I said before, I don't know anything at all about the FV4005. I don't know anything about it at all. I've tried to find the information on it and it's quite hard. There's, like I say, Sophie Line, she's done some information on it, so check that video out. I think they only built only a few tanks, and there's only one left, and Tank Museum have got it. So here's the part of the turret ring system, the engine deck detail, exhaust system, which is here, which is slide molded as well. So is this, slide molded to get that side texture. Storage boxes, We have these pieces that go on the back of the tank, I'm not sure what they are. We have these side skirts, which would be metal as well, again, so we'll have to do that texture all over. Inside you've got ejector pins, but you can take care of them easy enough. And we have the Glacier plates, more storage boxes here, and these are support parts as well. I think that's one of the giant crowbar pieces that the crewmen used to do the tracks. And it's a pretty good looking kit, but there's just no texture on the plastic. Compared to a, say, a tack-on kit, for instance, some of their kits are quite good and they have texture on their plastic to make it look like metal, but this is just a bit like a Tamiya kit where it's just really smooth. Nicely moulded, mind you, but just it has no texture. We have this part, I think it's part of the engine deck system again as well. I think this is part of the upper Glacier. We have some tools, which is the sledgehammer, handles, storage boxes. Don't know what these parts are. But this is the side skirts again with stowage. Like I mentioned before, it's moulded as all as one piece. Transmission casing for the outside. See, again, if you look at this has got the cast texture, but the actual rest of it is all smooth. Has no metal texture at all, but you can tell these have got the texture on it like cast metal, which is nicely done. And I can't see the real tank being really smooth like this. We have one of the Glacier plates again. And last bag contains the drive sprocket assembly. So here's your drive sprocket assembly. Again, details really nice of the bolts and system and stuff all over. And then we have more storage by the looks of things. This is part of the exhaust system, exhaust tips. And then we have the parts of the tools, which is this piece here is part of the pickaxe. So they are separate pieces. We have the ends of your tow rope, the eyes I call them. So again, nicely moulded. I don't know how well the kit goes together. Like I mentioned before, I've never built a amusing hobby kit before. This is my first one. But it looks good so far. As I say, all this is just a kit review, sprue review type thing. So there you are, folks. Move you back slightly. There's another kit from Amusing Hobbies, 1/35 scale, FV4005. Like, comment, subscribe, and I'll catch you later.